Aha.
This is happy holidays.
Trick or treat, motherfuckers. Let me try and fucking read the chat. All right, go. What see? Oh, hang on. All right. Kingsy, Woodsy, Wagsy, Fisho, Aussie Rick, Kingsy. I'll get this fucking thing off. Happy Halloween, everyone. Boom, boom. That's fucking hot under that cunt. Yeah. Yeah, happy Halloween to anyone who's got kids out there and they've been doing the thing this afternoon or to have a good time in that. So, yeah. Woodsy, Fishy, Fisho. Trent, how are you, mate? Taff, how are you? Happy Halloween. Kingsy. I suppose we can start off with... let me just move over so I've got the flag in there and the shot. Let's move to a different location. I'm at the kitchen bench. Oh, fuck, that made me hot in that fucking thing, eh? Oh, might have to turn that fucking fan up. G'day, Taff. G'day, HSV. Yeah, Fisho. Okay, so Wogsy, he reckons that's freaking mad that you're still doing your own thing, mate. Was thinking about quotation in defense, not defiance. I've seen an old Defence Force emblems, etc. Would you mind elaborating on it? Yeah, for sure. Okay. So the first thing to think of to get to it to like just a quick overview of what really in defense, not defiance means. It means that the Defence Force swears allegiance to the civilian population in defense of the civilian population and never in defiance of. So we are controlled by the civilian population through a representative democracy through our government. So the civilians have control over the Defence Force through our government. And also what it means in defense and not defiance. In defense, it means we're in defense of our country and we're in defense of other nations that can't help themselves. So we're there to defend people. We're never the aggressor. So we're never to go out, to go out and to rule over a country. Use our defense as an aggressor to invade and attack and plunder. So that's a quick sort of Soldiers 5. When you see fucking in defense and not defiance, it means that as soldiers, we will never fucking put arms on the civilian population and we'll never go out and plunder in the name of our defense. What we will do, though, we will defend our fucking civilians, we'll defend our fucking country, and we'll defend those that can't help themselves. And we're in control by the government, which is in control by the civilian population. And we're in defense of that population and we'll never be in defiance of them. All right. If you want me to elaborate more. Big love, Fisho. How's everything going? Googs, Trent, Yo King. It's Freddie. That's a good one, eh? Yeah. Yo King. Chris, big love chat, everyone. Big love, legends. Hey, Ramo, how are you, brother, up north? Wogsy, legend. Were you happy with that explanation, mate? Or I can go in a little bit more, like exactly what we mean when we're talking about in defense rather than defiance. But to wrap it up, really means that, we'll never take up arms and take over like a military coup is a big thing when it comes to our civilian populations. And we used to speak about this. Let me just go through the chat here. Taff, Google, Ramo, Woodsy, Taff, Trent, Ramo, Googs, Fish, everyone. G'day, Ramo. Rick, One Crazy MC. G'day, brother. Haven't seen you for a while. Ramo, Aussie, Trent, love the all. Crazy MC, Jules, Ramo, Dribs, how are you, mate? Frack, how are you? Ramo, g'day. So everyone's coming in and popping in and say, oh, yeah, happy Halloween for any of those people that celebrate it. I did when I had kids, not so much now, but, you know, the missus likes to do it. But she's got a couple of friends in America, so we're taking some family photos tonight dressed up, and I'm going to be doing, as you saw at the start of the live, I'm going to be doing Michael Myers, and Mel's got Freddy Krueger. I think Josh is doing Scream, and Sarah's being like Little Red Riding Hood, like a fucked up Red Riding Hood, I think, something like that. Peace to all. Fucking oath, Taff, Ramo, Jules, you sexy cunts. And One Crazy MC, I'm back. Yeah, mad. Just gonna say, everyone. Just gonna say, everyone. Yeah, so you'd have to go through all the people. No, I'm mad. So, good to see you, man. Fuck yeah. G'day, Dribs. Yeah, so that was a good question. Muggsy, fucking yeah, Wagsy. That was a good question, mate. I'm sitting on the front porch in a silent suit of armor right now. Huge fun. Mate, the storms we're having at the moment, like you would have seen, I've got a pinned comment at the top. I might unpin that actually in a sec. I was worried that we weren't going to come through. The lightning was going crazy, and we actually lost power at about 4 or something like that. And then it came through again. Boom, boom, boom. I'm seeing the lightning strikes. And I had about 2 weeks ago, you probably remember me telling you I had to get new Starlink because I had a surge and blew the fucking router up. So
she's bloody Sailor Moon.
Oh, yeah.
That's Sailor Moon.
Who the fuck's Sailor Moon?
She's a chick, but she's been fucked up. She's been massacred for Halloween.
I've never heard of Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. She has been absolutely massacred.
My daughter's going to a Halloween party with a mate in town in Gympie at the Queenslander. There's a fucking Halloween do going on. So she's getting ready. Your mate's coming around soon, and you're getting ready to go out tonight. Always staying hard, staying focused. Halloween with kids was mad, scared kids. Lavo was great fun. Yeah, no doubt, mate. They're the best memories ever. Yeah, that storm just passed over from here in Vic. Yeah, dude, it was no joke. I got done twice. I was in town doing a bit of running around errands, you know, picking up shopping and doing this and that. And, yeah, it fucking came in over the top of Gympie, smashed me. I drove out of it and smashed me on the highway again, got home and smashed me again coming home north. Yeah, but I see with the StreamYard too now that when you book a live, you've got to put in a topic now. So like under entertainment, movies, tech, you know. So I think I put people and blogs. So I don't know how that. I've got to explore that and see what the fuck that is really about. Yeah, g'day, Rick. Yeah. So fucking Friday night. I don't know. Do you want to watch a bit of Jeremiah? Jeremiah's got some cool war footage that he releases probably every 3 or 4 days. You know, he's got some good stuff. We can either watch it with his commentary over the top, and then I can stop and pause and explain things, or we can watch it on mute, and then I can just sort of fucking commentate. But the guy Jeremiah, he puts in the research to actually what the mission type is and what, not who's on the mission, but necessarily the unit types, and sort of narrates a storyline to it. I can still stop and pause and talk tactics, TTPs, technical tactics and procedures. See Jamaica, yeah, I did. I just saw the storm. I haven't really hadn't seen any footage, but I was actually watching the P3s fly into that cunt, mate, into a Category 5 storm into the eye of it, bro. It's crazy. G'day, Sarge. Hey, Woodsy. Jules. Let's go. Yeah, so fucking, let's go. He wants to watch some. So Fish is up for a bit of fucking footage. We can do that in a sec. Chris is going to be Saturday, not Friday afternoon night now. Chris is going to be Saturday, not Friday afternoon. Yeah, that's cool, bro. Woodsy. That's cool, bro. Oh, and my phone's, that's right. And, Tanzania, you'll seen that. Kingsy. Nah. I got a new phone. We got a new phone yesterday, so we're fucking ready. I got my number. So Woodsy, when you're coming up, you can just use my number again now, mate. It's all sweeted. I've got a fucking phone. I've got a Switch. I've got a Samsung, so it was just an easy transfer. And the phone stayed on long enough. The old phone stayed on long enough to transfer all my shit, all Mel's shit and everything. So we're back in business when it comes to me fucking dog and bone. All right. As the fish, g'day, Sergeant lads. What a storm, yeah, bro. The storm's been crazy. Yeah, Woodsy says sweet as bro, sick. Chris, what's the biggest gun you fired? Have you seen the Trisanosaur gun, big rifle? I think is that the one where they got the Beast Eddie Hall to fire? Are you talking about that? It's bolt action. I think it's self-recoiling or something like that. I might have seen it, mate. But the answer, Ramo, 50 caliber is the biggest gun. I probably fired like trigger. I fired miniguns and I fired 30 mil from the top of a Bushmaster through a scope and a joystick. But the biggest one that I've looked through the scope and pulled a trigger is a 50 cal. And then I fired everything underneath that. I fired every machine gun. I fired the M50, Mag 58, LSW, the M23, M5, 243. I've shot fucking fully automatic 40 mil grenade launchers, the Mark 13. Fuck, I fired everything, bro. The 7.62 Parker Hale floating barrel, the old sniper rifle. I fired AKs, AKMs, AK-47s, SLR. I fired fucking everything, bro. M4, AR-15. You name the gat, I probably fired it. Shotties, under and over, side by side. And then in my civilian life, what I fired. You know, everything. I'm keen to see some footage with your thoughts after, maybe in segments. Yeah, for sure. All right, that's cool. Gotta love a big storm. G'day, J-Mate. G'day, Fish. G'day, Ramo. Well done, thanks. 100% as. G'day, Taff. Doing, brother Woodsy, big love. Woodsy, that's mad, Chris. Thanks. I thought you would have. Haha. Yeah. Okay. The hardest hand cannon I ever fired was a 50 cal Smith & Wesson. Yeah, that would be crazy. I've never fired that, frack. You got me there. I've never fired a fucking Desert Eagle 50 cal or a 50 cal Smith & Wesson hand cannon. I've never. That would be fucking nuts. So how do you stay calm under pressure when gunfire is overhead and you need to make easy, mate? Training and we put ourselves in uncomfortable positions. Okay, for an example, the way you can train your body to be comfortable being uncomfortable, or putting yourself in an environment, high stress level environment, where you've got to make critical thinking, man, and the decisions that you make aren't like, oh, well, you know, if you don't get it, the side effects isn't too bad. No, if you don't make this decision, this cunt's going to fucking die and you're going to miss the fucking the airdrop, or you're going to miss the Kazovac or whatever. Okay, so just for example, to start that off, is like when you go to Kapuka, like after week 2, we'll take you down to PT. This is just an example of how we introduce you to getting used to being uncomfortable, right? Because most of you, if you've ever done anything physical, played a footy game, gone for a run, gone for a walk in the morning before work, after work, whatever the fucking case is, you always go and have a shower afterwards, or within half hour, an hour of exercising, or go and live in the gym or whatever. Usually you have a shower, you feel those endorphins when you get out of the shower, you get dressed and you're ready to crack on with whatever the fuck you're doing next, right? Well, what we'll do is we'll take you to PT and we'll get you fucking filthy in the morning, right? You'll be leopard crawling through fucking absolute putrid mud. I'll have you making sure that you're sweating bad, you're soaked through everywhere, you know, with putrid mud, sweat, all of it, right? And then we'll just get you to put a clean set of cams on, and we'll do this till like from 7:30 till 9, and at 9 or 5 past 9. We'll just get you to put a brand new set of clean cams on, and you'll just take off your dirty that PT attire and sweaty and dirty and filthy and putrid. We'll get you into a set of cams, and we won't even say anything. We won't even act like anything's changed. You'll be like, "What the fuck?" And then that's our first introduction to you being uncomfortable for the first time. And then you got to do a whole day of learning and doing things, feeling fucking putrid in the hot sun in a brand new set of cams, still keeping maintaining a high dress standard. Okay, and that's the first time that we introduce, and then we do that a lot. You know, for the next 10 days, we'll just do that at night time. We'll make you go to bed. We'll work you till fucking 9:30 at night, and then you'll think you're going to have your shower because you have it every night, and you go into your clean sheet beds tonight, sweaty, dirty, and filthy, because it's just that starting to introduce you to hardship, to being uncomfortable. Now, to take it to the next level, what we do is we have facilities. Okay, so the hardest decisions to make is not necessarily being under fire. It's not that big a deal. Okay, especially if you've got good cover. And if you've got guys around you where you're using your assets, that even if you don't have cover and concealment, that you can still use your machine guns in a way that's defensive, and you can use your machine guns and the use of different types of colored smoke grenades as cover and concealment, right? If you have good control of the space that you're occupying, and you have good fire control loaders over your machine guns and over your forward element, your pits, your scout pits, or whatever you got pushed forward or in the direction, likely enemy direction, or whatever the threat distance is coming from, it's not that big a deal. What big a deal is when someone gets hit, when someone starts fucking screaming, and then you start to see the tunnel vision come in, you know, and everybody starts to look to you, especially if there's if there's explosions going off, if there's rockets coming in, and it's hard to make a call because that's when it can get. But then, as a leader, it's easy to make decisions because I'm not thinking about myself at all. I'm thinking about the positions I've got my soldiers in and what the ramifications is for my tactical situation first, and then obviously their safety. But my tactical strategic comes first, and then, you know, because sometimes you're going to have to expose soldiers, right? You're going to have to put boys in horrible situations, but that's just the name of the game, right? So, so that's the hardest. When people are screaming and cunts bleeding out, that's when you feel the pressure. Or like in my example, like I also had run and was teaching was to train the trainer on all the jamming equipment. All right. Any type of SATCOMs, I was meshing all of our satellite links, all of our fucking fiber links, all that stuff. I was intermeshing that and trying to make that more robust, right? So when someone would fucking bleed out, or if there was a contact anywhere, my network was the one. If my network didn't work, then that cunt was dead or bleeding out. And that was high pressure. That was horrible. Then there's a soldier bleeding out, and we've got half an hour to get him to a medical facility where he needs minor surgery. We can stabilize and get him to fucking Germany, right? And if I don't, and if the network's down because they've just overwhelmed it, or the radio's been shot, or whatever the case is, it's my job. That was my primary job, is to make sure I could get those boys' comms up, no matter where we were or what we were doing, with special forces or normal conventional forces, right? And that was hard, but I trained for it. We trained for it. So we put ourselves in situations. So we will go, and when we go to Afghanistan, we'll get the fucking photos, air photographies where all the boys have been in Afghan. We'll build in White Bay. We've done it. We build a mock-up of all the FOBs that we're going to, and then in the fog area, we'll build this shed, and we'll set it up into a war-like environment with explosions and rockets, and we have built people, paid actors that will come in and start fucking act as enemy and start shooting and screaming, and then we'll have soldiers that will come in that are medics, and they'll take our soldier away, and then they'll start acting as a person who's just been shot in the femur, or they might have a femoral artery bleed, or, you know, you got a massive head injury and the guy stopped breathing, but he's got a heartbeat, you know, so you've got to try and secure an airway whilst under fire. So we'll provide these environments, and we'll have real people, obviously we can't produce the real bullets, but it's not that's bad. It's the decision making that you're making while dudes are bleeding out and trying to do first aid while you're trying to maintain control and the fucking upper hand and still be the aggressor within the attack, even though you've got a dude down, or you might be trying to get to the guys that are down, but they can see that you're trying to maneuver over to them, so they're trying to cut you off all they can, trying to ambush you, and you're trying to maneuver around that. But we put ourselves in training. And especially once we know we're going to say I'm getting deployed 1st of January 2026, right? That date has been, and the group of people who are going to be deployed in that deployment was meshed out in 2024. Okay, about March 2025, the groups are going to be deploying in 1st January 2026. That's it. We come together, and now we train from March till fucking that 1st of December together. And we ring out the people that we're going to replace in Afghanistan. We have these conferences, mate, every night.
Dad, she's an Egyptian goddess.
That looks cool.
That's so
And so
funny.
we'll have these conferences every night, and I'll be on to the guy that I want to be fucking taking over going, tell me your worst nightmare problems. Tell me this. And then I would try and come up with other problems that I could foresee in the map that he'd given me or the information or the intelligence that I'll be given. Then I could adopt my training for me and my soldiers to the most highest intensity to prepare ourselves for whatever that fucking question was that I Googled back. G'day, Sarge, lads, what a storm. So that's how you do it. And then when you do that, you have to do that a lot because you have to make the right call. There's no fucking making the wrong call. So we got to make all the wrong calls in training. So when we get there, we're at our we're peaking, like a football player trying to peak to the finals and then peak at grand final. You're trying to do that as a soldier. You're trying to train. You're trying to get all your SOPs and TTPs and stumbling over each other and all that stuff. We're going to be in a new environment and trying to learn the environment and learn what our TTPs is, what our rule of engagements is going to be. All that stuff we've got to get on top of the law side of it, because we've got to make sure, that we don't do any fucking type of war crimes, that we don't fucking commit murder, that we don't do, all that stuff. We've got to learn all that stuff. Whilst trying to learn a bit of broken pigeon because you want to be able, salam alaikum, you want to be able to fucking talk to the people, and at least group them in their language so it shows some sort of respect. So you have that, and then you train for that full side months, and then we have 2 weeks off, and then 1st of January, we get on the fucking plane and we play our game. And we do what we go and do, and we fucking act it because we're just trained. We train professionals, bro. And through that training, I can weed the weak cunts out. I can weed them out because I can start to see when you start fucking sleep deprivating and you start fucking with their food and their water and you're making them, and you can start to see true colors of people. And then you can put people when they're fully, really, 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 really tired and exhausted at the end of their tether, then you start make them doing critical thinking exercises, which could just be they've given a trailer with one wheel and you've got to get all this stuff in this trailer from this location to this location, but you haven't eaten for 5 days. You've been walking 40, 50 kilometers every day with heavy weight. So your body's fucked. You're fucking starving. You haven't slept. And now you've got to do this critical thinking exercise at the end of 4 days. And you've got to move all this for this group of people to this location. And it's pass fail. Right. And we just keep doing these things until you get good at doing it. And then we just keep stepping. Once you get good, then we put in more problems and more this and more that, more stress, more pressure. Get another person in screaming. Now he's got his legs. He just stood on an IED. His legs are both blown off, and he's screaming to high heaven, giving away our position. And then you've got to think and go through it. And if we fuck it up in training, we go, right, where did we go wrong? We bring everybody in. We fucking take notes. We rehearse that, and then we hit the scenario again until we nail it. And then we just keep introducing a scenario until it's ridiculous. Till you're like, this is never going to happen. You rehearsed and tried to think about so many fucking scenarios that you thought of them all almost. Some of the things are ridiculous. Like, what if they plant a fucking phone on my gear, on our gear while we're waiting at the form-up point and we don't see it, and how are we going to jam the phone that we don't see? And you're thinking of everything, right? So I hope that. Yes, I have, Kingy. Right, fuck, right. Hand clap really hard in the middle of winter, feels like nothing in your hands. To visualize winning battle to manifest success, Sarge. No, not at all. It's we have what we call SOPs, our standing operating procedures, and we have our TTPs, our technical and tactical procedures. And then we have our rules of engagement, and that's what rules everything. That's what guides me when I'm making critical decision processes, thinking or decisions or whatever I'm trying to fucking do. I'm taking in. I'm not visualizing it. I'm not visualizing the mission. I'm thinking of all the risks, and then I'm trying to come up with how I'm going to mitigate those risks. And then I need to install the information, my mitigation, the risks that I think that I can come by. I need to install them onto my soldiers so they understand what the mitigations and what the risks are. Then we need to come up with some sort of way to rehearse them, and then we move forward. And then if I come up with a situation that none of those things that I've rehearsed, it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm a fucking sergeant, and you don't get the sergeant if for making shit decisions under pressure. You know what I mean? So not to glorify me, but the rank itself, sergeant, is that you've been tested pretty good to get to that rank. So if you're going into a war zone as a snake, you're pretty true and tested. Like I've been to Iraq as a digger. So, I've already been tested as a young soldier, and I was doing many things above my rank back then. So to go back in as a snake, I've already been true and tested with my training. I've been to Kapuga as an instructor. I know my game really well. So, and that's pretty much rules across the board for all sergeants, is that if you're going into a war zone, you've sort of got your shit together, and that you prove that you can. Sometimes you don't. Some boys make the wrong decision, and guess what? Cunts die. And what do? You just try to fucking learn and try to forgive. You forgive yourself. But, that's what fucks soldiers up, is when they make that decision and it's the wrong one, and there's a consequence someone's gravely injured, or they're dead. That's hard. That's still not wrong. They made a decision. The worst thing you can do is not make a decision. The only stupid decision is the one never made. Just fucking make one. Good or bad, make it and run with it, cunt. All right? And then at the end of it, you go, fuck, that was a shit decision. And you work out why. You fucking, and then you move on. You learn and you fucking move on. So thanks for your service, Chris. Mean that, mate. You can see how much you went through. We got legends like you, and plenty of ones that aren't here wouldn't be the same. Yeah, cheers, Raymo. I appreciate it, mate. Woodsy, amen. Great rundown, Sarge. Teamwork for the dream work. Yeah, well, that's amazing, mate. Communication is key. I'll glorify you, man. You need to be held. Nah, mate. I just do my job like you do your fucking job. I just chose to do that job, bro. I mean, it was just a fucking cool job. We didn't do it for glory or any of that crap. We just did it because that's what I chose to do, and I fell in love with it. I'm a fucking patriot. I love my fucking country. And I fucking die for it. As simple as that. And if we get an opportunity to go somewhere to help other people that can't help themselves, man, it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling, especially when you're so well trained. When and the soldiers around you are so well trained, it's a fucking good feeling, man. And I'm just happy we didn't get treated like the Vietnam veterans. No one ever thanked me. That doesn't matter to me at all. I'm just glad that we just didn't get spat on every corner we turned, Because when we got back from Iraq, it was iffy. I've been called a baby killer and this, and fucking I'm a sellout for the oil. I'm like, what's this, a soldier, mate? What are you fucking talking about? I've got nothing to do with oil or fucking baby killing. But I could see it was a bit dicey at the start. So no, I'm just glad that the soldiers don't get treated like how the Vietnam veterans is. If you can ever thank anyone, and you can see a Vietnam veteran. Not many of them left now, and we're getting to that age where the Vietnam vets are starting to fall off the perch now. Thank them for their service, because they never got thanked. Anyway, just while we're talking about that, communication is fucking key, bro. Communication is when shit is hitting the fan, and you got a guy screaming. And you got a couple of dudes that are like, they were okay until you hear your mate screaming. It can make that's another thing you can train. And this is another thing is guys hesitate. Most guys hesitate the first time they go to pull the trigger when there's a person in there, when there's a human being in their sight picture, because we've been so used to fucking firing at targets, right? And human like targets, but they're targets. And when there's a person in that scope for the first time, and you go to pause, perfect, squeeze, a lot of dudes hesitate and then they think that they're not cut out for it, but that's a fucking humane thing to do. I'm glad that you hesitate, because it's not right to take a lot. It's not normal to take a fucking life like that. So that's a hard one to train for. You can train on the range, and you can train scenarios, but you can't put a person in your fucking in your sight picture and train dropping a person in your sight picture. So that's a hard one to train for, and a lot of the boys struggle with that the first time. And Another thing is, you can still have, like, you know how I'm in a training facility, and I can still have one of the members go down, and we can simulate a really bad scenario, like a double amputee on an IED with him screaming and the blood and the situation. But when it's somebody real, there's still that element of separation, even though the training is really high value, you know, especially the medical part of it and doing it under the pressure in a horrible hot environment with smoke and, you know, and all these actors and stuff. But when it's somebody really screaming and it's really your mate, it's a different type of feeling that hits you. When you see Australians or you see allies screaming due to an injury, or even an Afghani for that matter, you know, like, you forget about the innocence that you're seeing. Like this one guy that had been shot in his shin, and he was coming through my 3-hour checkpoint, and, you know, he's with his dad, and I had a couple of times. Either had a dead baby, or the baby was only just, I can't remember. You know, there's a few dudes that come through, but this one particular guy, I just remember the pain he was in, and just the red ooze just coming out of his shin down into his leg, and you know, and it just fucks with their psychic a little bit, like, because you can sort of watch videos, you can desensitize through watching all types of ways of people being killed, you know, through. Hey. Yeah, get him a snack. You know, but when it's the real McCoy, there's just another level. The boys usually push through it, but you can see their eyes are bigger. You can see they're more deliberate. They're thinking more instead of reacting to just their training. Their mind takes over a little bit, but you push through that. You know, everyone pushes through that, and you make sure you talk about it and debrief as much as you can too. You know, when you see someone's down or having a hard time, straight away as a sergeant, especially. Because one of my main jobs is their welfare, right? Not just, you know, their command. I'm also in charge of their welfare, making sure they're ringing home, making sure they're writing letters, making sure they're fucking, you know, they're talking to their wife, they're talking to their kids once a week or whatever the case is. Because a lot of guys want to separate. They see this stuff for the first time. You know, they see someone get destroyed, or they hear their mate screaming for the first time, and then it's hard to ring home. It's really hard to ring home. It puts you in this it's really weird. It feels like I don't know how to explain it. What's the words? But it does. It now that you've engaged in it for real, and you've trained and you trained and you trained, and now you're engaging in it for real, and you're seeing blood shed, and people really do want to kill you. Like, they really want to kill you. Not just some cunt on a Friday night, gonna fucking kill you, cunt. These cunts want to fucking hunt you down and chop your balls off. You know, like, and they're trying their hardest with rockets and fucking everything. And it feels like if you bring home, you're going to get that weakness. It's hard. You're going to bring the weakness of home, the vulnerability of home, into your mindset where you are here in the war zone. And, I mean, I went through it as a soldier. I disconnected straight away, and you don't want to fucking ring anybody. You don't want to talk to anyone at home because, for one, you don't know what to say because of what's going on, because they're going to say, what's it like, how are you? And you don't know what to say or do. And the other thing is, you're still coping with holy fuck, the fog of war, the noises, the smell, the blood, the fucking death, everything. This is all stimulating your senses continuously, not just a little bit. Like in training, you can stop. You can stop the training when it gets too intense, or you've gone long enough. In a war zone, it's just on, constant, unless you leave it. It's just on. It doesn't stop. You know, you're sleeping as a sergeant, you're fucking like this cunt, you know what I mean? You know, you never really rest. So when you ring home, it feels like you're going to invite that weakness and vulnerability into your mindset. You don't want to hear, I love you, or I miss you. You don't want to fucking hear that shit. But you need to, because that's what keeps you grounded. I don't want you to turn into a fucking psycho over there, you know, as a sergeant. So I know that. So I'm going around and checking their welfare, making sure they're engaging with their people back home. And then the more you do it, the more it becomes, you know, a weekly normal thing. And then it's routine for these guys. And that's what I'm trying to do. So there's all these types of things that I'm thinking about. Yeah, wow, that's amazing, mate. Communication is key. Yep, sorry, Intel. Yeah. Hey, Charlie C, how are you, mate? Great Charlie C. Hi, Charlie. G'day, A. Bless some in all. Sometimes the people home do the same. Separation is so challenging. It is. It fucking is. Was there ever legends that you were like, wow, these cunts are loose, like just savage cunts? Fuck yes. Fuck yes. I watched 2 Navy SEALs. We're in the gym, right? Some of you might have heard this story before. We're in the gym in a forward operating base called Mirawais in the Shora Valley in Afghanistan in the fucking Oruzgan province. I'm in the gym. It's later in the afternoon. We're working out, and this base, there's a village down here, and our base was placed up here on the cliffside, so we had the high ground. And there's a little base, probably 200 meter by 200 meters square with Hessian bags. And then behind the base was a nearly vertical cliff face that went up 2,000-3,000 feet. And on the other side was like a 4,000 or 5,000 foot off into the next valley. And these Taliban cunts have climbed up the back of this hill and come down the other side and decided this afternoon to fire into the gym where we were working out. Because we're working out, I didn't have my long arm, so I had my my secondary. I was carrying a 9mm Browning high power at the time, and there's some Navy SEALs training in the gym with us, and they had Glocks, and they were just wearing khaki shorts, and they had like Crocs on, like good quality Crocs. And we got fired down into the gym, so we hit the deck going, where the fuck did that come from? But you could tell by the trajectory through the gym roof that they'd come from behind us. So we run out and we can see the 2 guys. You can see the flash of the suppressors behind, and the black rock, and you can see the white flashes of suppressors as they're flying down on us. And then they fired again. Must have done one guy must have done a 30-round mag. The next guy done his 30-round mag, and they started to run. And then these 2 Navy SEALs seen them turn. And as Aussies were starting to group up to get a kill squad ready to go, these 2 Navy SEALs in their shorts and fucking Crocs with just a Glock chase these cunts. They're up this mountainside, chase these cunts, end up fucking killing them and dragging them down the fucking hill, bro. It was fucking sickest thing, one of the sickest things I've ever seen. But yeah, no, I witnessed incredible fucking things, bro. Crazy shit. Americans are brave people. American Marines, American soldiers are brave men. They're fucking crazy. Cowboys sometimes. Different worry for Mel and kids. It was Charlie C. It was.
Hi, Charlie.
Play a game of paintball. If you don't, how it's easy to get shot. Yeah, paintball. Yeah, play paintball. We played Opgon with a bunch of army dudes, and my mate Spucks Birdie went and took over Sanford Paintball Valley and just fucking dominated. In the end, the cunts would just hide and wouldn't come out. They were getting hurt so bad they didn't want to. They just hide in one spot and wait for us. It was fucking funny as fuck. In the end, we ended up fighting each other. We ended up turning on each other and fighting because no one else would like run and fucking have run at each other. Feeling crooked. Oh, Bulba, how are you, mate? Ripping possibilities, mate. Yeah, if feeling crook, mate. No worries, bud. Fucking hope you feel better, mate. Hope you're getting some of this rain up there. Spud, old son, frack. Here he is. G'day, Spud. Lurking. Nah, I'm sorry that you're fucking sick, mate. Hoorah. Well, man. Spud wore the uniform. He did. I've been caring for my 78-year-old dad. He's dying from COPD, lung disease. I know that my wife's mother has that, mate. I have a shitty relationship. I don't like him, so it's very difficult mentally for me. That is hard, mate. But what you're doing is noble. And if it was you, you'd want your son to do it for you. So as hard as it is, mate, I think this is beneficial for you when he does depart this land. And that speaks a lot for you and your character. And I admire that. Wagsy, it's hard to do that, mate. So, it's very difficult mentally for you, mate. But I think in the end, it will be rewarding for you. And you're doing a stand-up thing. It's hard to do that. And a lot of sons won't do that for their father. So, good on you, mate. Fucking good on you. and I'm proud of you, Wagsy. And I could only imagine it's difficult, mate. So I'm fucking proud of you, bud. That's cool, man. I think that was the difference. What was the difference? Sorry, that's cool, man. I think that was the difference. What do you mean, Ramo? Sorry. Wagsy, teach your tolerance. Give him some Newland and treat it like work. Proud but vulnerable. Right. Sometimes we got to be, though, for personal growth as well. So, mate, I think you're doing the right thing. As hard as that is, I think it's the right thing, and I think later in life you'll look back and reflect on that and feel good about it for yourself, I think, mate. So take that for what it's worth anyway. That's cool, man. I think that was a difference. Were you talking to me about that, Ramo, or? You got no guns. I miss this shit. I miss it every day. I still feel lost. I still feel like now I feel like I'm not good enough. I know. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. I dream about it. And, like I don't really have many dreams like nightmares because I take some medicine for that. But a last few like weeks, I've been dreaming like I'm in the army and I'm in one of those situations. I make the wrong decision. I'm a failure, and then I wake up feeling not good enough. I don't know why. I feel like I'm not good enough. That's what I did when I left the army. I lost my identity. I feel like I lost my purpose. And I'm still finding that shit. To tell you the truth, I'm still trying to find it. I'm still lost. That's why, like, a lot of guys still ring me, and sometimes I'm not reliable. It is because I share two phones to my defense. I don't really have a phone. Mel has the phone and that, and sometimes Mel will get the message or someone rang or message, and then she'll forget to tell me, or she'll tell me and I'm not near the phone and I forget, whatever. But also, I'm still lost and still looking for my own purpose, so I'm still on my own journey, so it's hard to always give the right advice to people when they're looking to you for that what should I do advice, and I'm still struggling myself to what should I do.
Horrible.
Anyway, there's a little personal fucking how's your father? Chris, I think the difference was how hard our army. Right, yeah, Ramo. And how much, because we were a small fighting force, we had the ability to really put a lot of emphasis on training, and training does matter. Like that defund the police and all that in America. Like, no, you need to do the opposite. You need to fund them so that they have the best training, so that they have the training for all situations, so they're not pulling their gun when they don't need to pull their gun, and they do pull their gun when they're meant to pull their gun, and when they do pull their gun, they know exactly what they're doing with it and how to use it. And everybody's competent and fucking everyone knows what's what, so that's what, and when you have that type of training, it allows a lot of fuck ups. It gets a lot of the bullshit out of the way. Thank you. That really helped. Hot home, Chris. Far out.
Wow.
No worries, Wagsy. I mean, I'm fucking glad I can help, bro. I mean, because that's what I'm into, is men's mental health, mate. I'm all about men's mental health as well. So, it's because I can see myself with you. My father's not that old yet, and he's not dependent on me at all. And we don't have the bestest of relationships, and it's awkward. So I can put myself there, but I know I wouldn't be able to do what you're doing right now but I know I'd have to do it to be the right thing to do. And later on in life, when I'm, back, or maybe a loved one's trying to look after you, or a good friend, you just understand the weight of it, and you feel good about yourself because you did the right thing by your dad, no matter how much of it is cunt or how much of shit your relationship was with you, So I just want to reiterate that, Wagsy. So I fucking hope it helps, mate, because you deserve it. And what you're doing, stand up, cunt. What you're doing, stand up. It's fucking noble, and it's inspirational as well. Because there's going to be people probably in the chat, mate, they've got a sick mum or dad, and they're not doing that. And they're probably having a little bit of a look at themselves right now. So take reference in that too, brother. Wagsy, my dad My dad died 2 years ago, November 2023. Rest in peace, Frank. Blessings to you, Ramo. Hey, bro. You need to teach Gen Z and Alpha survival skills, Chris. I've tried. I've applied to a few of those discipline camps. I've written a few emails to the, people that got like teens, like 15 to 18 that, that parents might want to send away to get them some sort of, military discipline training. I've applied to, people that looking for kids to do some sort of, not rehabilitation, but like some sort of mini leadership and personal growth and personal confidence, self-confidence courses. I mean, I was a recruit instructor for 2 fucking years, and I led men into like 2 different wars. So I've got something to offer, but I don't know if people were too intimidated by my resume, but I didn't even get an answer back, mate, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I've tried that, bro, and I'm not in no position to set something up like myself. I'm in no position to set something up like that myself if I could. I wish I could. But I reached out to like 3 or 4 organizations and they didn't give me the courtesy of an email to saying, yeah, but nah. So sort of lost. You'll get there, bro. Thanks, Fisho. My father was a forest ranger and fought in Vietnam. Fucking him, what a hero. Forest rangers, bro. Hence my past, where I came from. Scouts, volunteer, maybe email and spam. Amazing. Well, you want me to have a look? Who's interested? I've heard eating super hot chili is great for PTSD. It gives you that fight or flight, but it won't hurt you and helps with managing it. Dude, never heard that one. I'm not a big fan of hot chili either, but I don't get that. I don't get fight or flight anymore, mate. I have full control over over that reaction system, bro. I've done too many training scenarios and exercises and been in too many crazy situations that I know what my response will be. It's because I've had to overcome freeze. I've had to overcome it. I've had to overcome flight, and I've had to manage the adrenaline for fight. So, it'd take a lot for me to trigger my fight or flight, because I can slow things. Like if there's a dude in Gympie Centro with a knife, I'm a fucking huckleberry, bro. It's not gonna scare me at all. I've been in way worse situations. And, even if you do stab me, you're only going to give me once. Even if you get me, it's going to be one time and then you're fucked. So, there's no fight or flight. I think maybe you could incorporate my fight or flight if you fucking took my family hostage and tortured them in front of me. That might engage it. But it also could be overridden by rage as well. So, but yeah, it'd take a lot to do that, bro. I've done. I've had needles come out of my arm straight into other guys' arms, bro. They're bleeding out. I'm putting my blood straight into them. There's not much you can fucking fight or fight me for, bro. And no chili, I don't think is gonna do it, Wugsy. But I'm pretty good with my PTSD, mate. It's more now my purpose and what the fuck do I do now? This is what I've done. This is all I know since I was 18 years old. I'm 48. That's all I've ever done is just lead men. Now it's like, I don't know. Big love, lads. Chris, you've done it, mate. Raised a beautiful family. Looked after many in war, mate. Lost, but remember this, what you're built for, and just a few people we have it here. Cheers, Ray. I appreciate the kind words. They're inspired by me. Yeah, that's crazy because, sometimes I don't feel inspiration at all. That's why I love hot chili. Good fish, what Ramo said. Chili will give you that burn feeling the next morning. That's it, right? You'll get there, Chris. You have a lot to offer. Maybe try an old school lettuce, no mail. True that. I mean, someone's got to open it and read it, right? But it still doesn't mean they're going to respond. But hey, unless I do that, I can't say I've tried everything, right? I have a question. I have a question. I know you have how to fight Rage Against the Machine. Fight Rage Against the Machine. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. That fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. God bless you, brother Sarge. God bless you, Spud. Charlie C, yes, dribbler, and request a response. I haven't done that. What Nasho was predominant in the army and what Nasho was second. What Nasho was predominant in the army. What nationality was predominant in the army and what Nasho was second. Nationality predominant. Like, do you mean race? Like black, white, Chinese, Arab? Do you mean Australian, New Zealand, South African? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Beautiful, mate. You teach us now and make sure your family make it, bro. That's the goal. You truly are inspiring. Not many have seen what you have managed to still be around. Ah, fuck. Cheers, mate. Did you hear that, Mel? I don't know. I don't think so. God bless you. We make peace within. Yes. Yeah. I'm at peace with my service. I'm at peace with what I've done and seen and all that. I'm at peace with that. That's what you could do as a soldier. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't join up as a bricky labourer and then complain about your back hurting from laying bricks all day. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know, some of the best places, some of the best times I ever had too was in some of the most horrible places, you know. So just some of the best times with my mates, memorable moments that you just, you know, you'd never do or get to do like back home. You know, like doing donuts in the back of a fucking up armored Toyota Hilux while your mate's firing his star out the back of the ute while you're doing donuts in the mud in a wally in Afghan somewhere. You fucking just doing donuts your mates in the back. Just fucking having fun, you know. It's crazy shit. You just couldn't do that in Australia, you know. We couldn't rock up to a training range and do that shit, you know. Just do my own. Even if there's nothing going on, I could just go and do my own range. So I just go make up my own range and I'll drive around like villages and just grab all these fucking targets and shit that we'd be used to shooting at or what we'd see insurgents go and hide behind. We'd try and get fucking targets like that and put them on a range. And, you know, I'd fucking have, when days was, you know, not too busy, I'd go down and make sure that we were shooting all day on the range and, you know, different things from the village. You know, we'd have fucking shot at so many different fucking, from different things, like everything. From, you name it, from any type of household appliance, couches, microwave stoves, oven fridges, fucking freezers, chairs, glass table, you name it. To petrol cans, to explosives, to, you know, to see, yeah. It's fucking, and that's cool shit. That's fun shit, doing that shit, you know, or you've been hit, and then there's an Apache that's come in because they're protecting a Chinook that's come into the area to come and drop a load off or to pick up my boys or whatever. So with the Chinooks, they're very vulnerable in the air. You know, they're like a school bus. Imagine a school bus with a rotary at the front end and a rotary at the rear end. And it's, it's like a fucking school bus. And what it's doing what we call the fucking the milk run. It's going from fob to fob. It's dropping people off, picking people up, dropping ammunition, da-da-da-da-da. It's like a school bus run. And because some places we go in the Shura Valley, some places are really, really hot, right? And Chinook will just get taken out just with an RPG. It's a shoulder-fired fucking rocket assist weapon. Let alone anything more sophisticated, you're very vulnerable. So you throw an Apache or two with it, right? So while the Chinook's cruising, you got this Apache that might do figure eights or show of force, right? Saying you fire at this fucking thing, and then this thing's gonna, the Apache will take you out. So anyway, what I was getting to is that was coming in, and it got fired up on the Chinook. So the Chinook dropped, and the Apache just jumped up above us and started engaging all the insurgents, and the hot brass was coming down. And it was the first time I'd experienced that. Like, I'd heard about it, and I'd heard my mates talk about it, like, watch out the brass from the fucking Apache when it fucking engages. And then I finally seen it coming down, bang, bouncing off the top of the satellite dish and all this hot brass. And it's coming from, like, probably 150 feet, too, so it's got a bit of fucking, you don't want that, you got a helmet on, so, but you don't want that shit to hit you in the head. Fucking piece of brass, it's like fucking 500-600 degrees, mate, falling at probably, I don't know if it hits terminal velocity in 300 feet, but they're coming down fast and hard, And that was just funny because it was the first time I experienced random brass, from above, from this thing just fucking getting some, and you're like, fucking, this is sick. They were good times, bro. Good times. Good times, bro. Hey, man, I'm a new father, and it's the best thing ever. But I'm struggling. I'm 44, and I feel I've lost myself, but also have found myself being a dad. My mental health is fucked at the moment. Right, the matter cooks. What you need to do is you need to use your son to improve your mental health, okay? So you need to not think about you. You need to think about him, okay? So when you're down, you need to grab him and have a bonding experience with him, no matter how young he is. That might be just pushing him in the pram around the block. It might be taking him to the park and just looking at him, and just he might be a tiny little baby and just pushing him ever so slightly in the swing. Have that engagement now. And then you're thinking about what you're going to do. What are we going to do for dinner? What am I going to do if you have a wife or a partner? Okay. And you start taking up your time and you're thinking about it, making your purpose about your son. And that will give you your purpose and your drive back, mate. I swear to God. But you need to commit fully, as easy as it is for me to say that, but that's how you start to get through and find yourself, because there's no better thing. It doesn't matter if you're a soldier, an SAS, an accountant, a fucking lawyer, George Soros. It doesn't matter. A father's the best thing and the most important thing in your life right fucking now, mate. And providing for that boy. And take solace in that, mate. And you will find your purpose and you will find yourself through that, mate, through that mission. Through that dedication. And you'll find purpose and you'll find love for yourself again too, mate. Other than that, mate, try and find a good psychologist or psychiatrist and actually find some coping mechanisms. If you're struggling to be a father, and that's what the issue is, that you're struggling to adopt, and maybe you're judging yourself that you're not a good enough dude and you're not a good enough father, like all fathers do, which is a very common thought process. Then try and find a psychologist or a social worker where you can just get some coping strategies when you're in a high stress or high anxiety, or when you're doing something and you feel worthless or shitty and you don't feel good about yourself. There's some things that you can think about. There's some things that you can do physically, and there's some things that you can do, writing, putting on a song. But people can just give you the method of how to deliver yourself out of that stressful environment at that particular time. That's why I think psychologists and psychiatrists are worth the chance. Sometimes they're corny and cliche, but they can give you just a few. If you can take anything from a 45-minute session, it might be just a few coping mechanisms, and when fucking life's really kicking you in the balls, it'll just help you, just bring you up out of that, right? And that's what I found. But I ended up have to go once a fortnight for many years, and it took me like 6 psychiatrists. But See, not everyone can do that because I fucking I'm a veteran. Defence DVA helped pay for that for me, so I had no excuse. So I understand people that can't do that because of the cost. It's fucking expensive to go and see a psychiatrist. I know it is. So and the other thing I can do is sometimes you can go to Alcoholics Anonymous. They're free. And you can talk to the social worker at Alcoholics Anonymous, and they can give you that type of information that that they can provide. Obviously without the charge, if it's just a few things. You just need to hear someone say, just do this or think that, or and it could be the difference to just give you your strength back, mate, and just give you the direction. It might not give you your purpose, but it might give you the direction. And see, I can speak on this because I had that as I was going through as a father, and I didn't think I was good enough as a soldier. And now I feel lost now, but I think it's a different way. I'm mental fucked. So, try that, brother. And otherwise, just keep talking about it. Keep talking about it like you let out here. Because each time you do that too, it's easy to try to come to Coachworth and try the solution to get yourself better. Water skiing behind Kiowa kind of thing. A Kiowa is a intelligence, a quick assault chopper. It's a 2-pilot type thing. They can park on the side of cliffs, and Kiowa is a really quick intelligent gathering. Yes, our nationality: Africans, Asians, Anglo, Arabs, Kiwis, Aboriginals. Who would you say dominated the army, and was there much racism internal? Okay, white Australians is the most dominant. Aboriginals are very low, but they're definitely there's an element of Aboriginal, but they're not too many. Probably in the infantry battalion, I'd come across when I was in the infantry battalions, I'd come across an Aboriginal, probably 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 150. I'd have to say in the infantry it would be like Tongans, Maoris, Samoans. There's a lot of those guys, but not heaps. But a few. Not that they make a percentage, but there is some people that are Hindu Indians. Not very many, but there are some. There's the odd Arab. Other than that, it's like Wogs, Italians. Like if you're from Melbourne, you usually sort of got a Wog or Greek heritage. Just generalising here. If you come from like South Australia, you usually got an English sort of heritage, or from Western Europe. So yeah, but mostly white guy. White Australians is the main thing. And was there much racism internal? No, fuck no. No fucking racism, bro. If I ever had anyone was ever, which they weren't in my presence, I'd snap that straight out of you, cunt. I'm not putting up no fucking racist bullshit here. Everyone's equal. Every single person's fucking equal, bro. Yeah, so I never saw racism. It was never around me. My mates never spoke about it. We were never. Sometimes we'd have run-ins with Aboriginals on the piss in Townsville. But that wasn't racism. That was just fucking 2 drunk cunts being fucking dickheads and fucking blowing, punching on with the black fellas that used to drink in the park, and then we'd go and fucking harass them, and we'd all punch on, But that wasn't racist shit. That was because we liked to punch on. But no, I never saw racist stuff like literally, bastardizing or hurting or pushing someone to the side because of their fucking race. No way, bro. It wasn't a thing. Sexism. Not really enough women in the army to really have a sexism, and most of the women that join the army are lesbians anyway. You'll find most of the women you come across in the army are fucking lesbians. So there's not a real sexism thing. There's not much of a sexual assault culture, not that I experienced anyway. I mean, later on, there was that that controversy that came out at RMC in Duntroon. I remember how they had that weird thing going on there. But I think that was bubbled to Duntroon only. That was a weird fucking cult they had going on, or whatever the fuck that was. That wasn't normal. That wasn't a normal sort of behavior. So, but racism, I never saw it. And if I did see it, I would have fucking stomped that cunt straight away. And I'd fuck him off too. We don't want racists in the army. I don't want no fucking racist in my army, bro. Do you want a fucking racist serve in your country? Fuck no. Daughter and wife, son must be proud. Relax, mate. Enjoy your time you have. Have you seen many mates leave a lot earlier? Be proud, keep head high. Bullets didn't stop you or didn't stop you. And they nearly did. Rockets nearly got me 2 one night, bro. But yeah, they didn't. The best moments were pure fear and courage. That's right. That's right, Frank. Don't let anything in your brain stop you. That's right. Google wrong question. My name is Damien. I love these stories. Thanks, mate. No worries, Damien. Nice to meet you, brother. Peace and love. Thanks, mate. No worries. Definitely, Chris. Damien, when you look at your son's eyes, which will be yours, you will know, brother. Stay strong. That's right, Frank. A tool, extra tools from therapy. Yep. Damien, give better than what you had. I have a playlist of motivation. I play every day. Keep watching motivation videos every day. Same ones, drill them in your head. I have a 186. I have 186 on my playlist. Great advice. There you go. Songs can be great motivation turners or mood swing turners. Fucking oath they can be. Great. Music doesn't do it for me, but fucking oath, that's great advice. You get 10 free a year.
My best friend was Dad. Now he's second best.
What's 10 free a year? Sorry. That's how I get through my shit. It helps a lot. Promise, man. Just try it. YouTube motivation. Save them playlists. Big love, mate. You'll come good, man. I raised my son with my wife. I raised my son when my wife died after his birth. Never married again, and my son is better than me. Never give up. Amen.
Alcohol connection.
Big love, Frack. Yeah, my wife sees a psychologist, and it's ridiculous. I know, Dribs. It's one of the ones where most people need more than a GP. But to even get to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, you got to go do the GP and get a fucking referral. You know, you can't just look in at Google and go to a psychiatrist and go and pay. You know, people would be happy to pay $65 like a GP consultation and get $40 back on Medicare. You know, and that's where we need it to be. We need mental health to be more compensated in the Medicare, and not. You know, they need to do something about it because it will help the population so much. And I was never a big advocate for it. When I was struggling before I was forced to go and see a psychiatrist when I wigged out. You know, everyone knows how my downfall happened in the army. I fucking nearly killed my boss at work. And I was forced to see a psychiatrist and got put into a mental hospital. I was fucking, fuck this drink shit. You know, you're a fucking weak cunt if you go and fucking do this. You're a fucking weak cunt just for fucking talking to someone. I had that mentality, bro. I thought, like, you know, I've been to war. You fucking bulletproof cunt. You know what I mean? This is just me. I just need to get through this. You know, I'm being a weak cunt. Nah. I need to let my ego. I need to get rid of my ego, which took a while to deal with, right? I got rid of my fucking ego. And then when I really needed help and I fully hit rock bottom and I looked out and I just saw the psychiatrist or psychologist that they just wanted to help me and they weren't really to exploit my vulnerabilities or make me look weak or that stupid fucking cliche shit I had in my head. And miracle workers, they really are. They're heroes. It's just fucked that they're so expensive. They need to be subsidized, guys. Damien, stay strong, brother. Frack says. Frack, stay hard, bro. Same thing, bro. Playlist every day, man. McDemmy, good. Sarge, good to see you again, my brother. Fucking oath. McDemmy, kettle face. Frack, yes, sir. Damien, thanks, everyone. Sarge, thanks for the advice, mate. I'm from Nambour originally, now in Melbourne. My daughter was born in Nambour, brother. I'm up in Gympie. I'm just north of Gympie in Wide Bay, up near Tincan Bay. Yeah, mate. I know Sunny Coast well. My daughter was born in Nambour, mate. My son was born in Brisbane. And I've lived in Melbourne too. I did a lot of training down in Melbourne. There's a communications where we do all our SATCOM, fiber optics, fucking jamming, all that type of stuff is in down in Melbourne, mate. So I've done a lot of courses, a lot of training in Melbourne. Know it well. I had to wait 12 months before I could go see a psych. Absolute bullshit. That is bullshit, Trent. Hey. Can you? Nah, I don't. I'm trying to work out this. You can't go to the ER because then they'll probably admit you when you don't need to be admitted. You just need someone to fucking be there. You just need a shoulder to cry on and someone to be there. When I say shoulder cry on, I'm not being, you know what I mean? You just need somebody to be investing, right? And somebody to You know, just tell you what you need to hear, tell you what you need to do, tell you what the next thing is so you can get out of this state, right? I listen to a lot of David Goggins. David Goggins is a Fruit Loop. He's crazy, that guy. He's fucking crazy. He's very, what's the word? He is disciplined. I think David Goggins has gone too far with it. But yeah, no, he's hyper motivational. If you don't know who David Goggins is, looking him up, he's super motivational. That cunt will get you off the couch. If you're struggling to get off the couch and lazy, yeah, listen to David Goggins and he'll fucking give you the 1, 2, 3, bang. Yeah, straighten the old fucking chops. These days, I just laugh at a fat guy wearing a dress with pink hair and fully pumped. I know. You know what the worst thing is? The people that are embracing this fucking, you know, that men want to be women and all that crazy trend stuff. It's like my generation. It's like older dudes. It's, you know, there's a couple of young fucking soy cunts, but they're just drinking too much soy milk, mate. You know, drinking the fucking estrogen water over in America, bros, turning them into fucking bitches. But, yeah, it's mostly older, you know, like that sort of 40 to fucking 60. You know, like, what the fuck? Can't. That wasn't normal. When I went to school, nobody was doing it. There was trends. Was it transvestites? I don't know. But those guys that used to go to clubs, dress up as women and dance, but they were just gay. They never wanted to be a woman. They dressed up as women one night on a Friday night. You know, that movie, Priscilla Queen in the Desert, that type of shit when I was growing up. But they were few and far between, you know. But in the early 90s when I was growing up, it was still a bit, not taboo to be gay, but it was still like people in the closet, you know. No, but you know, I think there's still people being gay bashes in Sydney at the time. It's crazy. But still, it wasn't like it is now. Like every fucking second person's fucking gay or fucking bi or fucking something. Crazy.
Dad, look at the bottom of Josh's door. He's put a fence up.
That's cool.
So they can't get in. It's a Halloween fence. No enter.
It's at my son's door.
It's on the floor. Don't come in.
Not JK. Jocko Willink. Yeah, bro, he's a Navy SEAL, crazy Navy SEAL, bro. He did some fucking crazy shit in Iraq in Baghdad. He's a very good motivator, but some of the decisions that Jocko Willink made as a sergeant, as a team leader, I wouldn't have made those decisions if I was in his position.
Yep.
And it's not okay. I'll tell you what it is. Jocko, when there was something quiet, what he would do is he would go into the middle of fucking Iraq and he'd fucking put up the American flag and start playing American tunes and pulling people over, going, "We're fucking bored. Bring your best. Get your gun. Let's go. Let's get in the gunfights," and start poking and prodding the people around them. To get the insurgents running and moving and fucking. I just thought it was overexposed and it's extra. You know, you don't really want to expose your soldiers into more shit than you have to, because when you're invited, Mel just gave me a little thing full of lollies.
Happy Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of diabetes.
And my opinion is that I'm never going to do extra to expose my guys like that. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it professionally. I'm going to gather intel, and then I'm going to fucking do my mission analysis of the intel that I'm given. I'm never just going to fucking put up a flag and fucking abuse the people around me to initiate something. I just thought as a leader, I just wouldn't have done that. But having said that, Jocko is a mad cunt. He's very good at what he does. He's a very good fucking Navy SEAL. He's a fucking excellent leader of men. He's very motivational. He's fit. He's fucking better than I am. So it's just that. As a leader, I just disagree with some of those type of decisions he's made, but that's neither here or there. As a leader, it's up to you how you lead your men. And I'm not a judge. It's just one thing I didn't agree with. Mental Society. Jocko Willink. Crazy, yeah. Mental Society doesn't give a fuck. I love it. Love it loud. That's just me. Yeah. Did we fight for their survival, man? Or something? I was about to drive by and say, do you want a route, and decided probably would. Happy Halloween, folks. Was Jocko well known in Iraq when you were there? Not well known, no, but because of my job, bro, I'm privy to. I was privy to the information on what you know when we were hunting down Saddam, and when we were coordinating the intelligence in Iraq and Baghdad and in Mosul. I was open, and I was in a part of all those intelligence gathering meetings. I was one of the first Australians into Iraq and did a lot of the first planning, mate. I moved up when we invaded from Kuwait. I drove around up through Saudi Arabia and come into Kuwait. We waited for the move forward, and then I flew into Baghdad International Airport. Then I come up the forward line, and then we moved into Baghdad, and then that's when I helped take over Victory Palace, and then from there, I helped move the Australian National Headquarters from a country called Qatar, and I helped move them into National Headquarters 633, which was in Victory Palace. And then I moved forward into the fucking red and green zone, and then I built a security detachment to protect the Australian ambassador downtown Baghdad. So I was privy to a lot of shit that was going on with everybody. I was in a unique position, so normally you wouldn't be, but just that position I happened to be in at that time, I was just privy to a lot of stuff. Did he lose a lot of men? Yeah. More than yeah. I'm not gonna say, yeah, he lost a few boys. Not necessarily his fault though. I'm never gonna say that. No way. And I know I was never there when they were lost, so I can't really, give my opinion on that. But yeah, he lost a few boys. I wish I took a picture. So funny. John Aussie Puglies. Hey, Goody, in South Australia, it's nearly impossible to see a sight. Plenty of psycho people, though. Shaking my head, honestly. Hey, Pug, how are you, brother? It's been a while, mate. Yeah, see, that's fucked, eh? Damien Cooks. Well, thanks for your service. Cheers, bro. I joined in 1995, got out 2017, did 22 years in the Australian Army. I served my first service I did in the Royal Australian Infantry Battalions, come up through the 1st Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, fighting battalions. And then I transferred, I bettered myself, so I started doing a lot of courses in communications. I could see that's the way where the forefront was in the war zones, and people that were deployed into crazy places had communication certificates. So I started to go down the communication road. So I became an expert in satellite communications, high single mode and multi-mode, fiber optic links, microwave links, HF antenna theory, VHF, UHF, you name it, bro. I become an expert in the comm systems, over 6 years of studying. Got all my comms licenses, underground, overground, fucking, coaxial, all that shit. And then that came with encryption. So then I had to learn all different types of encryption, right? So then that got me my top secret, and then I got in my Delta, Charlie, Alpha briefs. So then that got me into skiffs. So now I'm privy to all the information intelligence that are coming up, and then getting brought up in mission analysis reports. And then I'd contribute that because I'd have a lot of guys that were exploiting the communication networks. So the ragheads would use press to talk walkie-talkies, like UHF walkie-talkies. And we'd employ interpreters, and we'd exploit those. We'd exploit their cell phones. We'd exploit their networks. So, and then in 2010, we decided to try jamming because we were getting hit with remote detonated IEDs. And so I got taught, I was the first trainer on how to do jamming. So mobile phone jamming, radio jamming, microwave jamming, you name it. If you know what jamming is, a power struggle. Whoever has the most power wins, right? The problem is jamming a lot of frequencies at once. But anyway, I become trainer on jammers. So then I was in there. I was working with the special forces on their jammers, all that shit. So I was a privy to a lot of cool shit. And anywhere where there's an Australian communications equipment, whether it be a radio, a desktop laptop, a sat phone, it come under my command. Any Australian anywhere, whether you're SAS or not, it come under my network, under my command. So I was, and I got the run in 2010. I picked my own team. We went in, and then 2012, I got to pick an even better team, and fucking bang, we hit it again. So 9 months in 2010, I did 9 months deployment in 2012, and then I did 9 months in 2003 when we invaded in Iraq, and then I built the headquarters and fucking moved into defense, into sector. Iraq was the first place where I saw my first real dead body up close, bodies being shredded apart. It was the first time I'd seen bodies floating, looking, like dead bodies that were weighted underwater, looking up at me, mixed with dead pets and dogs. The water was putrid around me. We had to burn our shit and piss in 44. Oh, shit, are you all right?
That's a bit heavier than I thought.
Yeah, I was just going to leave it there because the light was leaning on it. But you pulled it off. Yeah, just leave it, mate.
That's as heavy as me. Sorry, Dad.
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Didn't do anything.
Sorry.
Say sorry one more time. I don't care. Well, thanks, man, for your serve, yeah. Yeah, so that was cool. So Iraq was the first time I was privy to that. It was the first time I was shot at. It was the first time I fired my weapon in a war zone. It was the first time I'd see like IEDs, explosives. It was the first time I'd seen machine gun fire shot at me, like with machine guns. First time I experienced indirect fire support with rockets and mortar fire. First time I was a mortarman when I was in the infantry. I ended up doing 2 years in mortars and was a mortarman for a while, delivering death from the other side of the hill. That's what we fire mortars up over the mountains. But in Iraq was the first time I was on the receiving end of mortars, 60 mil mortars. So that was a unique experience. I saw Uday and Qusay, the sons of Saddam. I seen those cunts when we wrapped those cunts up. They pulled them in, and we got to go and see those dirty, filthy fucks. And then I went back into the army. I decided that I'd go to recruit school and become an instructor. So then I went down to 1RTB and I became a recruit instructor. And I tried to give as much as my knowledge and train fucking deadly soldiers for 2 years there. Then I went over to Perth and I trained up the reserve brigade in Perth, and then was working with special, if you know, SAS was over in Perth. I was doing a lot of radio and communication stuff with those guys over there. And then they wanted me to come back, and then they selected me because they were about to change the complete network in Iraq, Afghanistan, Dubai, Qatar, Yemen, everywhere we were. And they wanted somebody that was competent and knew comms to rebuild it. And so they picked me. And then I got to pick a team, and we went over in 2010, and I completely changed everything over there. I rebuilt all the special forces networks, how they do their comms. And then I came back 2011. I had some really bad feet problems. I ended up getting trench foot from this exercise that I did in Rockhampton. And I was like off work for 6 months. I recovered from that. Then I started my 9-month training for my 9-month deployment in 2012. On my deployments, we lost 42 soldiers, not mine. 17 soldiers. None of them were my soldiers, though. Still feels the same, the loss. But, yeah, so a total of, 3 nines? 3 nines, 27 months in war zones. And into 2001 was my first introduction to people that really wanted to fucking kill me. I went to Bougainville. If nobody knows what Bougainville is, I know some of the older heads that have been in here. Bougainville is some islands to the east of Papua New Guinea. And there was civil unrest that happened there in 1997. There was some miners over there from Rio Tinto that were mining copper and gold. They were them and Papua New Guinea were ripping off the Bougainvilleans. So they decided to shut the mine down and start killing all the white miners. So they got our boys. We flew over there to try and do some peacekeeping. We sorted it out. Said, you can't be doing this. Got all the miners out safely. And then we started getting all the doctors and witch doctors in from that area. And we started to bring them in, tried to show them what diplomacy is and to teach them how to negotiate and stop fucking killing people, running up to the other tribes and hitting them over the fucking head and bringing their women back and raping them and shit. So it come 2001, it was my turn to deploy. And then I ended up spending 3 months in the jungles of Bougainville. And that was my first introduction to, like, remember, I'll never forget, this is my first time I've left Australia, right? And I've flown from Townsville to Bougainville. It's a 7-hour flight to fucking C-130 Hercules. We land, we're circling, I can see the island we're landing, right? And this old World War II runways from when the Japanese was moving up through the Pacific, right? When they were going to invade through Darwin, back with, Kokoda Trail and those types of things. So I'm seeing the old runways on this island, and one of the runways has still got the pits from where the Yanks and the Australians blew the runways up so the Japs couldn't use the runways, right? And I'm like, holy fuck, this is history. I'm looking at history. We come down, we land in the Herc, it's a dirt runway. We pull up and we're looking, and you got this ramp, right? It's a 45-degree ramp, and we're all looking this way. And the ramp's, and I see the sunlight, the blue sky. I see the top of because it's full type 1 jungle, right? I see the top of the canopy of the jungles, the coconut trees and some fucking, vines and shit. And it comes down, and there's like fucking 1,800 to 2,500 fucking fuzzy wuzzies, bro, Bougainvilleans. These people are so black. They're like got the purple streak down their spine. They're really, really, really dark people, right? And they're all walking out towards us with their eyes wide open, and every single one of them has a machete. And there's only 10 of us, and we don't even have a weapon yet. And I'm walking down. All we had was pick handles. And one of my corporals goes, I don't want to alarm anybody, but that's a lot of fucking knives. And that was the first time I felt real fear. Real fear. I thought, they're 200 meters away. If these cunts rush us, they're going to chop me to fucking pieces. And it was the first time I felt real fear. I fought in pubs and clubs and fucking, I done karate. I'm a black belt in karate, done jiu-jitsu. I joined, I done boxing clubs with Devil's Guard Boxing and Wagga Wagga. I used to fight at the police boys. And I thought, sometimes I'd feel fear before a boxing fight or, before a full contact karate fight or, but yeah, when that thing came down and I walked down and I seen all those fellas with fucking like looking at us like, who the fuck are these cunts with machetes? My arsehole, bro. My arsehole was pop, 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 pop. I'll never forget that, Adlai? I'm 54 now, the loss is more. That's right, brother. Pug, I'm okay, mate. I'm going okay, mate. I hope you and your fam are happy and healthy. We're getting there, brother. Thanks for asking, Pug. I hope you fucking doing well too. Sarge will chime in on that. Sarge, my headdress is Iraqi, great bloke. He was young during the war. I asked him what the Yanks were like. He said, cowards, they fought a lot from helicopters. At the start of the Iraq War, they did. Because imagine sending troops into Sydney. Like I've said to you guys before, take law and order and any type of, now all the criminal gangs, Muslim gangs, anybody can take over, take all that out. Now you send soldiers in to hunt down certain types of people. It's impossible. Without you dying, without you all being killed. So they'll get a lot of people out of, through helicopter, firing from helicopters. But they were learning. This is the first time they'd really had this type of conventional warfare inside proper capital cities, you know what I mean? With conventional. You're right. You're right. Yeah, so they were learning how to fight in the new environment too, By the end of 2008-9, they started getting them down more pat, and plus the Iraqis started to understand that TTPs is that as well. So, but to say they were cowards is crazy. I don't know if they were cowards, but he could have seen shit I never seen, so I'm not going to question that. But that's funny. How many are here now after battling? Many here now after battling. Well, I don't know, man, because I've lost fucking 3 or 4 mates to suicide since we got back. I mean, 2 Australian soldiers kill themselves 2 Australian veterans kill themselves every week. So we're running out of veterans. We're already less than 1% of the nation. As a veteran in Iraq, Afghanistan veteran, I'm already less than 1% of the nation, and then fucking killing ourselves off now. Such a shame, man. It's just all good dudes. Fucking rips my heart out. All good dudes. All good dudes, man. Some of the things they did in war zones, bro. Just to be kicked to the side. Just to be kicked to the gutter and forgotten about. Yeah, that fucking hurts me, man. Hurts me. My mum's dad was in artillery. True. Drop shorts, we call the artillery boys. Drop shorts. Or cloud punchers. I used to call them cloud punchers too. So you should be Fish 01. I'm still here. Let Sarge talk the truth. I'm listening hard right now, Ramo. Fuck. Damien, fuck. Oh my fucking god, man. Oh no, you were warned about haircuts. But also you got to remember too, as a soldier, that's what you want. You don't want, when you sign up, I want to do that. I wanted to go to war. I wanted to do my thing. I wanted to do my job. Like a footballer, he gets employed and trains every week and does everything and rocks up Friday night or Saturday and gets put on the bench or doesn't get put on the 17 run-on side. You're like, fuck, all I want to do is play a game, a footy. So I've trained my whole life for this. I've been, my mind's conditioned for it. I'm ready for it. I know the rules. I know all the tactics and everything, the players. I know their weaknesses and strengths. I'm a team player. But you just sit out game day, every game day. You sit out. And all you want to do is go and play that game of footy. That's what it's like being a soldier. That's what it's like. You're just training and training for the worst possible fucking circumstances every fucking day of your life. You're learning to kill people different ways. How to fight with bayonets, knives, with rifles, when your rifle runs out. How to fight with a long arm, just the barrel. How to fight with the barrel. How to use garrotes. How to sneak up on people. What things are seen. How to use the terrain to our strategic advantage. What dead ground is and how to utilize dead ground and high ground and low ground and immediate ambush theories and I don't know where the fuck I was going with that, boys. I was on a bit of a tangent. Where I was going was that you do all that training and you just want to be put on the run-on side one time. You just want to go on and test yourself. I can say I'm all this soldier and that, but until you get to a war zone, you don't know if you're going to freeze. Whether when your mate's calling for you, are you gonna run through that fire and be there for him? Are you gonna do that? You want to, but are you gonna be that guy? Are you not gonna be that guy? You have all these fucking questions. You want to be tested, right? Just like a fighter. You go training. You want to go and have maybe one boxing fight or just one fight just to test yourself. See where you're at amongst, the other men or fighters around you. That's what it's like as a soldier. It was for me. And luckily, early in my career, I joined in 95. 2001, I was in Bougainville. And then 2003, I was in Iraq. 2010, I'm in Afghan. 2012, another Afghan tour. 2001, I was in Bougainville. And then you throw in all my fucking communications training, my infantry training, and then I did the unarmed combat course, where we learned Krav Maga for 6 weeks and tactical fighting with knives and unarmed combat. So in the trenches, I go click, you go click. We don't have a knife. It's fucking unarmed combat, It's not about fighting and trying to get points. It's about killing a person as quickly as you fucking can. And it was good fun. And you want to be tested. You want to be tested, right? You want to go to fucking war, bruv. You want to go to fucking war and do it and test yourself. As sick as that sounds, not in a sick way. We don't want to go and kill people. We don't want to go and no. I just want to go and do what I've been trained to fucking do to the best of my ability and see if I'm good enough to do it. And the boys that are with me. That's all. And there's no ego in it that way. It sounds ego-ish, but it's just you willing to do your fucking job. And then if you served between 2001 and 2017, you might have got the opportunity to do that, depending on what corps you went to. So, obviously the fighting corps. So, what's fuck? What's a Damien? Fuck, what's that about? Oh my fucking god! I know you were warned about haircut. We lost 3 soldiers this year, bro. Yeah, man. Right. How's the lightning, mate? Eh? Oh yeah, you can see the lightning in the back through my front window there. Mad, eh? Can a child raised with terrible self-entitled mentality and low standards become a reliable soldier? Fucking oath. Yeah. Some of the best. Because all you need is routine, discipline, and a good male role model. That's all you need. And when you have that regularly in your life every minute of the day, which forces you as a soldier, when you go through recruit training at Kapooka, 91 days, 24/7. No fucking going home on weekends or fucking knocking off at 5 at night. No. You start your days at 0600. You finish your day at 2200 or 10 o'clock at night. And then you wake up at 6 the next morning and you do that unless I'm taking you out and I'm teaching you how to live in the bush environment. Because they think they join the army and think, oh, we're going camping. When I say we're going bush this week, everyone goes, oh, we're going camping. It's nothing like fucking camping. Nothing fucking like, the only thing like camping is that you're sleeping under the stars. But there's no fire, there's no white light, torches, none of that shit. You turn a fucking torch on in my harbour, I'll fucking brain fuck you. You just give my position away, I'll fucking kill you. But you wouldn't because you're a soldier and you'd know not to fucking turn a torch on. Otherwise, you just kill every cunt. But yeah, no, definitely. Because you have really good role models at Kapooka. The instructors are good, solid men. They're good, solid, hard men, okay, that are being tested usually. So, like, I'll give you an example. One guy I had, he got locked up when he was 21 and he was released when he was 30. He'd done 9 years. He'd been moved a lot of coke or meth either across Sydney to Victorian border or was across the New South Wales, South Australian border. But he got done moving a kilo or two. I can't remember the amount. It's enough for him to get done for 9 years, right? And he came out and then decided to join the army because at that time, Kevin Rudd, who was the Prime Minister, decided to drop the standards and said anyone can join the army except for pedophiles, rapists, and murderers, right? So if you had DUI, if you had drug offences through courts and stuff, it was okay. They were going to turn a blind eye to that and give everyone a go, unless it was those 3 big ones: grievous bodily assault, sexual assault, rape, and murder, pedos. Okay, so he decided to join the army, and he came in with a jail mentality. thinking that I'm a fucking screw, that he's their enemy, like I'm the police, right? And he came in with a chip on his shoulder. He thought he was a bad motherfucker. Well, he just done 9 years in jail, bro. So he's got that mindset. And he came in, and I destroyed that company. Within 5 days, I had him shaking like he was shitting broken glass, crying, mate, because I just demonstrated to him what a real fucking man was. And the way I demonstrated that to him is that there's a sequence. It's called breaking down. It's called breaking down a man. When they come in with an ego, or they try to drop the shoulder, they think they're better than you, or they just come in with that mindset for whatever reason. They come in above you, or they think you're the enemy, when they don't realize that we're here to teach you to become soldiers. It's a completely different thing. And so I had that guy, and within 5 days, I'd fucking destroyed him. I destroyed the jailness out of him, and showed him what a real man is and what a real role model is. And they turn around. Like I had guys that mums had kicked them off the couch. They were fat little fucking 18-year-old fuckers with the fucking dent in their foreheads, in their heads from too much headsets. When I said, has anyone ever played a sport, they'd put their hand up and say, I play soccer. And then when I find out what club they played for, it was a club on fucking Xbox. Like, never had a male role model in their lives, let alone a good one. And they were just like sucking mummy's tit. And the first night, I went out. And by 90 days, bro, I'll turn them into little fucking solid fucking, confidence killing machines. No, bro. Well, the army has a unique process to the guys that are soft, a guy that needs just needs to be pushed in the right direction. The guy that's been a criminal his whole life and he wants to headbutt the system and just, I'm better than you, or I'm fucking, he wants to do that. We've got all these sort of methodologies of how to break these people down. Not in a bad way, but to break them down, to get rid of their old habits and then bring them up new, build them up with routines, like that love, that brotherly love. Well, a lot of young fellas, fuck. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my daughter's mate's just got here. Dogs are going to go off. But yeah, so in short, any man can join the army. Even if you have the wrong attitude, that can be realigned. Purpose and a good mind. Haha, I recall zipping my ground sheet with mates' tent up. I asked where floor was. My Sarge had a great chuckle. Yeah, you sleep in the dirt. You know what I mean? I slept 6 foot under most of my life. It feels like you're living in your own fucking grave when you're learning to live underground, and hence why the Australian soldiers are called diggers, because that's what we're best at. We're good at fucking digging in the ground and defending that territory, holding fast. Hold fast. We're very good at that. You look at our World War I, World War II, and you look at fire support base Coral Balmoral in Vietnam. You look at the Battle of Kapyong in Korea. You look at in World War I. You look at the Somme Mud in Western France. I mean, I believe the end of October is a celebration for the last charge of Beersheba, the light horsemen, when they took over the Turkish town of Beersheba, and it was a life or death charge. That's amazing. That's one of my favorite fucking Australian fucking war stories, bro. I love the last charge of Beersheba, the 10 light horsemen. If you've never seen that or watched that, learn about the light horsemen, the last charge of Beersheba in World War I. It'll fucking put the hairs on your neck stand up, mate, and it'll make you proud to be Australian. K-Rudd hooked us up for Christmas. Did he want that 2007 or whatever? Rudd. K-Rudd, what do you mean he hooked us up with Trump, or? Fuck, my mustache is being itchy tonight. He fuckers, I don't know, did he?
Aqui.
Oh, boom, boom.
Aqui. Aqui. Foi certo. Stop. Fucking chill.
Real good film, Sarge, or as Rick said. Yeah, it is a real good film. Yeah, The 10th White Horse, The Last Charge of Bathsheba. It makes me fucking chills. My chest swell. When I go through that story, man. Logsy, thank you for your insight. It really helps people understand how the Defence Force is for our friends and family, and they could be in or joining. Yeah, mate. I mean, you see a lot of young guys that never had really good father role models in their life growing up. What do? They end up sort of trying to play football, joining a criminal gang, to maybe joining a bikie gang, because they're looking for the brotherhood. It's not necessarily the crime that they're interested in. It's that brotherhood and wanting them to belong to something that feels not necessarily bigger than them, that they belong to something that they can find themselves and purpose in amongst other like-minded men. That's why the army is really fucking good, because it's giving you that, all those things that you crave. It's giving you the brotherhood. It's giving you the purpose that's better than something that's you're belonging to something, and you're part of something that's bigger than you. You're patriotic. You're serving your nation, which is another tick in the box. So it's it's good for the soul, because it's service to your nation, public service to your nation, in the force of Defence Force of your fellow citizens. And you got that teamwork, that environment. And not only that, these guys are tested. They're not like bikies or mates where you ring them and they might turn up, or these guys are going to be there for you no matter what. You all die for each other. You only serve for the guy that serves to your left and your right. And that's a big thing in the Australian Army, is about mateship. We sure from the very start, the very first day you join the Australian Army, we make sure that you are that you are the asset, not the fucking weapon, not the fucking $20 million satellite suite that can fucking get, a 200 meg shot anywhere in the world. Not the Bushmaster, not the SAS. It's the fucking soldiers, the service people. They're the asset, and we make sure that young soldiers know how important they are first. So then, oh well, it is what it is. Just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so that one thing to belong. A lot of time, my guys join. It might be a footy team first, and then you might not be good enough, or you're sick of going to training, and it turns into, I don't know. I just seen my cousin. My cousin was groomed into the Rebels in Sydney at 17. And you all know my story. My cousin was a Reb. Now he's sort of on the way out now. He's been in for 13 years down in Sydney. And all the things I see in him, as a young man, it would have been sold if he joined the army. You know what I mean? And then not only that, you're getting a fucking mad wage. In the army, you got the ability to chase a career too. So you can go through the ranks and get more pay and more responsibility, and you got opportunities to work overseas, not in war zones, but I had the opportunity to either go to Iraq or to Antarctica for a year. It was war zone or Antarctica. So fuck that, Antarctica. I want to go to war. I want to go test myself. But I had that. Once I became a sergeant, I had the opportunity to go and do 6 years in Hawaii and work with the Marines in Hawaii. I had the opportunity to get posted to Washington, D.C., to the Pentagon. I had all these different opportunities, Then I had the opportunity to go to war. When I was in a war zone, I went to Yemen. I went to Fallujah. I went to fucking Syria. I was in Jordan. I was fucking in Qatar. I went to Bahrain. I was in Kuwait. I was fucking in the UAE. Fuck, mate. You know, I've done some fucking awesome, cool shit through the army, man. And you always had that gangster, that football, that joining the football field and all that bike. What people join bike clubs for that brotherhood and that don't fuck with us when we're together feel. You know, the army gives you that in spades. But the beauty of it is, these guys are there for you because, you know, you're tested and you train every day. You're training every fucking day together, you know, to be an elite fighting force. And it's such a good thing to be a part of. It really is. You know, it was a really good thing. And then when you get caught, when you get some freedom to lead your men, you know, then you can incorporate your own like ideas and things that you've seen. Have you started coming up as a senior soldier into the ranks? You start seeing things from other corporals or sergeants at work, and you take a little bit from this guy, a little bit from this corporal that you had, or that training corporal, and then you sort of develop your own leadership style, you know, and having the freedom to do that. It's just such a good feeling, guy. It's such a good feeling, guys. Like, fuck, I miss it, eh? Fuck, I miss it. Fuck, I miss it, man. Most gangster I knew, actually, the peaceful were worse. That's right, Brack. It really does. We need to fix a lot of young men in Western society these days. I agree. Bernsey, hey, mate, it's been a minute. Sergeant Chat, how are we all? Bloody legends, Ripper Billy, much love. Hey, Bernsey, hope you and your family are well, mate. It's been a minute. Okay, Bernsey. Logs at unity, that's right. But not through diversity. We have strength through unity, which is coming together for a common purpose and a common goal. I think diversity is what creates separation. We don't want people to be diverse. You can be an individual, no worries. But yeah, unity, bro. G'day, Fish. G'day, Aussie Rick. Feel great to be alive. How about you? Fucking does feel good to be alive, brother. Yo. Huh? Is what? No. I think the last 1 or 2 years of school should be in the military. I think they should have a gap year. I think you do year 12 or whatever, and then you do 2 year gap year. So when you leave school at 17 or 18, what are you when you leave school? 17 or 18. And then you go to the military for 2 years. And then after that 2 years, you can go on with your university or further education or tradeships or whatever. Or you can sign and do another 6 years, like when you sign up at recruiting. I think you used to sign up for 4 years. Now I think it's 6. Or it's 4 years for a non-trade and 6 years for a trade. I'm not too sure. I can't remember the ins and outs of it. But if you did 2 years, then that would give them a sense of belonging. It'll give them a sense of purpose. It'll give them patriotism. It'll give them just great self-confidence, just in weapon training, you know, with a 30-round magazine, clear, safe, 30 rounds, on, action, instant, you know, just going through those drills and all that just builds confidence. And because you're using weapon systems and stuff, when you're using weapon systems and stuff, because you know what the consequences of what happens with these systems, it gives you a sense of responsibility, you know, and then you take ownership of that responsibility, and then you start to grow as a person, you know. So I'll only ever speak positive of it. Like I say, I miss it every fucking, and it's a fucking cool place. It's cool. I got out before I went real woke. I got it, like I said, I was discharged in 2017. So I got out just before fucking, you know, woke shit and fucking, I'm talking about, you know, females and males and females trying to become infantry soldiers and blah, 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 blah. I think they came in after me. So I don't know how I would have dealt with that. I want to be in the military and also get my German Shepherd military trained.
You want to sell them? You want to sell them?
Oh, your German Shepherd, like, go through that. That's expensive, 10, 15 grand, I think, man. You can buy ex-service dogs, I think. I think you can get ex-service dogs. Might be a way to go. Because they usually retire them at 5, I think. We need to restore national pride. We do. We do. I mean, how do we do that? How do we do that? Because these two parties that we have aren't very good at it. Do we give Pauline Hanson a crack? Or do we give someone like Bob Catter a crack? I mean, what do we do? How do we do this? Because at the moment, it seems young people really don't have that pride. Like, it's almost if you fly your national flag, you're a fucking racist or you're a bigot. Crazy. Fisho 1, yes, true, but what gender would they want to be? Go for Burns, laugh out fact. Burns, I can hit you up if you want pain and serve now these days. So what was the oldest soldier you looked after and how did they go? Oh, mate, okay. The oldest soldier I looked after was a 55-year-old soldier. As a recruit instructor, I had a guy come through at 55. But you're talking about like under my leadership, once we're in the real army, not at Kapuka and training, you're talking about maybe someone I took to a war environment with me. Okay, was a guy would be Colin Shedden, and he would have been 48. And I at the time was 31, 32, 33. I was 33. So I was 33, and one of my soldiers was like 48. But the average age would have been on my deployments would be probably 25, 26. In general training and day-to-day training back in my units, I have soldiers as young as a lot of soldiers as young as 18, 19, 20, 21. But no, and they went really good. In fact, older soldiers are better because they've had a bit of life experience. Yeah, I know I can hear. I've got to talk a bit loud if you can hear the rain going off here. I've got a massive storm going on. But no, older guys have usually got a bit of life experience. They've been through the ringer a bit, so they're willing to learn. They don't come in with an ego or some predetermined outcome. They just come in and just throw their arms up and go, you know, they just know to play the game because they've been around. So older guys are usually better to teach and to be with, but, you know, you can never get that young guy that's misled, and then you finally give him some guidance and purpose and to see him grow into a fucking, you know, a brilliant young man. There's nothing better watching that shit, you know, watching boys turn into men. And not just turn into men, turn into fucking good men. You know, good men. They won't stand around on a fucking train and watch a woman get stabbed in the neck. Or stand around in a fucking shopping centre at Bondi Junction and watch a guy run around with a fucking knife in his hand. Nah, not on our watch. Well, I'm in Bondi Junction, bro. I'm running at that cunt. He's going to start running for me, I'm telling you right now. But, anyway. Yeah, I know. Thanks, love.
Don't knock him off.
I won't knock it off. Hit that like and show Sarge some love. Cheers, Rick. G'day, Sarge. Hope you're well, man. I am Jamal. I'm doing all right tonight, bro. Going back to my old Warriors and stuff. Got a few new people, I think, in the chat tonight, so they might be learning to hearing some of the stories for the first time. I mean, I love talking about it because it relives the life I lived, you know what I mean? Anytime I can have engaged that and engage that thought and memory process, man, it brings me back, you know. Fucking infantry on my chest, cunts. Made some memories on my wrist. Yeah, Jamal, I'm good, bruv. Wong, good to see ya. G'day, Jamal. Trevor, did you ever put your doodle inside the bottom of a young? You're a fucking idiot, cunt. Trevor, fuck off, cunt. You wouldn't say that to my face because you'd be fucking. You wouldn't have an eye and you'd be eating glass. Fucking Trevor. Fuck off, cunt. Good to see you too, Rick. Wogsy, jibbity jabbity after 27. Yeah, the jab too. Yeah, I know. Should be right.
That was so loud.
I still hold my friend's helmet that died in my arms. I will say his name, still signed in his helmet. Yeah, fucking hell, Frack. That's crazy, brother. No, I've got photos. I had to stitch one of my soldiers who got a bit of frag, but that's about anything I've got. Because I was also a combat first aider, so I could secure airways. I could get IV. I'd do IV drips, stitches. I could stitch up. I was a combat first aider, so I had that too. And I was a DMIO, so I could blow up unexploded IEDs as well. So I did my DMIO's course. I was an upper armored driver's coach, so how to do driving techniques and upper armored Toyotas that weigh 3 ton. How to do J turns and shit. Fuck the list of shit I did, bro. G'day, Fisho. Don't talk shit, Trevor. Good work, Rude. Respect, hey, Fish. Ever known anyone knowing Newts or have his helmet? Nah, bro. Respect to you, Rick, for having his back. Held it for many years. Yeah, laugh out. Stamped for life. Love that flag, mate. Oh, the one behind me, this flag. Lest we forget. Baker Perkins, Sarge. Hey, Baker Perkins, how are you, mate? It's good to see you dropped in, brother. Fish says, g'day, Bake. You ever seen the Funker 530? I have YouTube channel, Sarge. It's just all military footage and they do a live stream. Good channel. I have seen it, bro. I'm not over there very often. Actually, I think they got a Facebook. I remember joining their Facebook ages ago, maybe. But I sort of go to Jeremiah and I stick to the Russian and Ukraine because I'm fascinated with trench warfare. I'm fascinated with, watching trench warfare of Ukraine and the way they're not using jammers and they're getting killed with drones. It's just so fascinating to me. I don't understand what's going on. Like, you wouldn't get a drone. You wouldn't be able to fly a drone within 800 meters of me, cunt, in Afghan, bruv. I jam every fucking frequency, bro. You're not flying nothing near me, cunt. I don't understand, bro. No skid lid. And he would have looked like smashed watermelon, I reckon. Oh, no, if you get hit in the head with 7.62, your head explodes. Pink mist, we call it. If you get hit with 50 cal anywhere, Tennessee mass, you turn into pink mist. It's like a water balloon exploding with a pink overlay. No shit. And depending on how big the IED is, suicide vests they wear, sometimes they can just blow themselves into lots of pieces, or sometimes they'll turn themselves into pink mist. All depends on, when they're trying to do IEDs to penetrate the hull of the Bushmasters. They'll stepping it up with different types of devices, using like artillery shells, using mortar rounds that haven't been fired, or 107 millimeter rocketry. And then they'll rig it up to a fuse or a battery or a pressure plate or a mobile phone. Yeah, the Aussie flag. The Aussie flag tats. Yeah, bruv. Infantry. That I've got Anzac in my lip. Anzac. Where else? What else have I got? Made some memories on my wrist. When it comes to patriotic tats, that's about it, I think, yeah. Good now, Frack. I never knew his family. I still hold it in honor to give it back. Oh, wow. Yeah, he goes through all that footage and all the other conflicts around the world. Yeah, he does. Yeah, fucking oath. Fuck, that milk's terrible. One sec. If Damien Wogsy is still there, I know you're. I think you might have been new to the channel tonight, or I'm not too sure. But if you go into my page in the past live streams, I did a live stream on Anzac Day. That was a pretty good live stream because I went into the dawn service in the morning, and then I went as a veteran. I wore my medals too, all my medals on Anzac Day, and then I went to the RSL because the veterans get in there early and we drink free all day. So I got my son to do it live throughout the whole day. I was at the Gympie RSL, and I took him through playing 2-up because that's what the Anzacs played in the trenches at Gallipoli, and in the Western Front was 2-up and Crown and Anchor. And it was a really fucking good day. So if you wanna have another look at a good live that I've done, it's the Anzac Day live was pretty good.
Yeah.
Newts, where the fuck are you? Newts, I don't know. Just be a sec.
I dreamed it was.
All right. Yes. Well, let me see what photos I've got, eh? Here you go. This is me, the recruit instructor. So they gave it to return. Yeah. Maybe I said so. That's me as a recruit instructor. There you go. This is me in Afghan with a 50 cal. This is me after me taking the recruits through a challenge. That's me there as a section commander. This is me building SecDet in downtown Iraq. So that's me in front of a lab when I was building SecDet in the red zone in Iraq. This is the palace that I took over when I first got in Iraq. I went into the and we stormed this building here, and this is Saddam's. This is Victory Palace, and this is the water that was putrid. It was full of dead bodies and dogs and fucking animals, and the guys that know my racing when I stole Saddam's boat. This is the lake that I was fucking racing down. I was racing the boat down here, and I went down up through here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but yeah, I went to the very top of the screen where the water sort of emerges, and then I started getting shot at up there. So, here you go. This is some Iraqis that I was looking after this particular day. There's one of my boys trying to get a fucking satellite shot in a dust storm in Afghan. This is inside the palace that we took over. That's like the main entrance. This is the piece of marble that I took out of Saddam's bedroom that I've still got. It's another photo of the chandelier in his palace. Another photo of the chandelier. This is the Bushmasters that we were using in Afghan. This is me on a night patrol in Iraq. This is me. I just stopped to get some feed in Victory Palace for the night. And I was just up on one of the balconies of Saddam's bedrooms. This is a pool that we decided to try and make in Afghanistan at one of the forward operating bases. We had engineers there. We had some Marine engineers, and they decided they wanted to try and make a pool. So no one was too scared to fucking put their head under, though. But, yeah, there you go. There's a war pool for you in Afghan. This is me in Iraq when I was doing SecDet. Some Afghanis in the village that we were patrolling through. There's some Afghanis there. This is one of our gun towers. I had a soldier that was shot with an RPG. They came through this gun tower, and it went straight through behind his back, went through the other side of this gun turret and out to the other side, and then detonated in the mountain. It should have detonated in his back, but he got lucky. But he was in that gun tower when that happened. One of the boys on patrol having a break. And you can see on his right wrist, he's got Blue Force tracker. There's a sunrise or sunset in Afghan. Sunset in Afghan with the gun tower and the fucking foreground. Okay, so this is the gym. This might have been the day I was talking about when those two Navy SEALs chased those two Taliban cunts up that hill. This is the gym I was in. This is mirror-wise. It was either this day or the day before when that happened. And you can see on my right hip, you can see my 9mm high-power Browning. I've got it on my hip there. A couple of my boys when we're flying into Afghan. Just a shot I took out of the back of a Chinook. It's me taking a photo of one of the boys getting ready to sit on the machine gun on the back of the Chinook. That's just me posing. My boys, we just fixed this antenna and we just got shot at. I was standing on top of this HESCO barrier and some of my boys had just been shot at, so we decided to take a photo to piss off the Taliban. Just another photo out the back of a Chinook. This is me fucking around with an M4. Me firing an M4. This is when I went to the United Arab Emirates and I managed to go to UFC 113 in 2010. And the UFC fighters wanted to come and see the Australian war fighters. So we flew some of our boys into Dubai and we got to go to UFC, and Norigara and some of the UFC fighters come and spent 6 hours with me. So I got to do some jiu-jitsu training and I got to roll with Norigara this day, and he decided to put me in a headlock while I got this photo. So that's, if you know the UFC heavyweight fighter, Norigara, that's me with him. This is me on a patrol in Afghan. You can see I've got the Steyr there. I've got the version 3, the Oz Steyr version 3 there, and I'm running a 1.5 optic. That's my own poo-poo at home. There you go. That's my magazines and my 19. That was me just decompressing the magazine springs and releasing the rounds. And they were on my mattress that I had a nice spot to stay that particular night. It was in a fob called Wally, Forward Operating Base Wally. And I was decompressing the magazine springs and let my ammunition out. I just took an opportunity to take a photo. This is me with one of my Marine counterparts. Man, we're just taking over the 50 cal gun pit, gun hunt. This is what we put up for the young fellas. No respawns past this point, boys. You get shot, not like Call of Duty. So as you go out on your patrol, this is the sign you go past. No respawns past this point. We put that up for all soldiers when we go out on patrol. Okay, this is a Dutch group that was going out to Forward Operating Base Awali, and I took this photo, and that gun car that you can see in front with the guy manning the 50 cal, 20 minutes after this photo, they were hit with an IED. All three of those dudes were killed. This is me in the back of a Chinook, and I'm going to another fob. It's me just going up on a patrol to check a satellite dish outside the green zone. You can see Fob Wiley in the background. That's the Forward Operating Base. And you can see the green zone where the fucking Taliban hang out, and that's where the green wooded area is. That's where the Badlands are. Just me in the back of a Chinook with a couple other boys. Looking out the back of the Chinook. Just me training in one of the gyms that we made. Look at that full fucking rack, too, cunts. Just some boys on patrol, some Afghan villagers in one of the villages. One of the lads in the fucking rain on patrol. He's got an umbrella there just protecting his weapon system. That's me getting into the pool. That's me in the back of a Herc going into Afghan. That's some 7.62 rounds that ripped into one of our compounds. You can see what it did to our brickwork there. We had a bunch of guys standing here, and they did a big burst in, and that's where the burst hit the wall. And I just thought I'd take a photo of it. That's me with my kids. You can see the Devil Guards boxing shirt when I was part of the Devil Guards boxing club. This is like a little safe zone in a Fob Tarankout. And what am I looking at here? I think this is where one of the rockets landed, and that building had just been blown up. The roof had just been completely destroyed. I think they're doing inspections. That's me riding with my cousin down in Sydney. That's me with my cousin on the left. That's me on the right. Yeah.
That's coming for us, Dad.
Oh, here we go. I've got a video clip of me firing my 9mm. This is me firing an M79 40mm grenade launcher. This is like a 40mm shotgun. Yeah, I'm just aiming out in amongst those trailers out there and those vehicles. You see that explosion is where I just landed it?
Yeah, so this is the M79 Wombat gun. This is purely shoots fucking 40mm mics, HE explosives. It does aluminum rounds. It used to do white phos, but so yeah, this is me just test firing the old fucking M79 Wombat gun. Shooting it out to about 350, 400 meters.
Yeah, 350 my target was. That's got some powerful kick too. All right, you'll see it come down. Bang, now. That's mine there landing. When he's walking up into the Chinook, one of the that's in Kandahar, actually.
I'm just gonna shoot at shit.
This is my gel blaster set up at home that I've got with the aluminum round.
Okay, fully auto.
That's my job blaster.
That worked pretty well, I think.
Second person being struck by lightning. Wow, that's crazy. Sunshine crazy.
All right. Yeah, he goes through all that footage and all the other conflicts around the world. Yeah, anyone know? Yeah, they gave it to him to return. Yeah, where's the John Howard and you picture? That pic's gold, Sarge. Cat number. Digi the serial number, sir? Yes. I went back for a shower. What did I miss? Mad shit, Chris. Yeah, man, I watched it live. It was great. Oh, right. Okay, sweet. Get me a wombat gun now. All that good stuff, Ramo, as always. Here, let me go and get that photo. It's in my Fuck, can't find the cunt. I think if I just hang on, guys, I know I can find it. Hang on.
I was busy coming.
How do I get to? Oh shit! No. All right, here we go. I found it. Oh, what's going on? Open weaves, paint. All right, now let me just come back to here. Present, no, plus, image or file. Here we go. There's two. I'll show you this one. There you go. That's me before when I was leaving to go into Iraq with John Howard signing my my sleeve. Actually, I've got that sleeve. Actually. Look. That's that sleeve he's signing. There's his signature right there. Right there, John Howard. That was my sleeve that he's signing. I'll just go back. Oh. That's it. That's what he's signing right there. So I have that photo. And I have this photo. This one. That's me there. And that's Boo Boo. You know the stories I talk about with Boo Boo when we're in the boat and we're getting shot at? Yeah, that's the guy that I nearly fucking killed. Nearly threw him overboard into the putrid lake. But yeah, that's me with John Howard. And that night, I went to bed, woke up, I think 0 dark 100 and went into Iraq. Okay. Oh, oops. So let me just see what else I've got here. Now I can do that. There you go. Here's one of me jumping into the Bayonet Assault course. That's me doing the Bayonet Assault course when we're learning how to fight with bayonets. That's sick. That's sick. What else have I got here? Oh, here you go. This is the hallway we played cricket in. There you go. That's one of Saddam's hallways. And we used to play indoor cricket in there when we were getting like mortared or fucking shot at. We'd run in here because it was like real solid, thick marble walls and play cricket. How cool is that? There you go. So all the good stuff, Ramo, as always. Impressive career, Sarge. Cheers, McStemmy, mate. I was lucky. I loved it, eh? Loved it. Got some mad photos and footage, brother. Dude, it's not even the half of it. I've got a 500. I've got a 500 gig hard drive there. It's half full of photos and fucking footage and shit. And some of it I can't show, but some of it I can't show. Anyone knows. Chris, was it you that said, you know, blokes that shot at Sphinx in Egypt? Yeah, no, what I was saying was that story is after Gallipoli, when they were getting ready to go into the Western Front, all the Gallipoli veterans were training the recruits as they come over and get ready to go into the Western Front into France. They'd come to Cairo in Egypt and they'd do like a 6-week sort of training and transition to get them ready to go into the Western Front, the front lines of the Western France. So when they were training in Egypt and in Cairo, the 1RAR diggers would line up and they'd use the face of the Sphinx to fire their 303 bolt action rifles at. So a lot of the Sphinx face was destroyed by Aussie soldiers back in 1916, 1915. So fun fact for you. In fact, I've seen photos in the infantry 8-9 RAR museum, and there's like 200 like infantry, what do you call them? Australian infantry soldiers with 303s all lined up in a row on logs, firing at the Sphinx's face. Just fucking destroying it.
Some parts are like half a foot under.
Haha, that's awesome. That's mad, Chris. Good old Johnny High Pants. Holy fuck. We were good looking roosters once upon a time, mate, weren't we? Hey? If I shave I've never really grown a beard because I shaved my whole life in the army, other than a few times, you know, when we didn't have to. But I've never grown a beard, so I wanted to grow a beard for a few years. I think I'm gonna slit my throat. That's not how you slice someone's throat.
Oh.
When you slice someone's throat, you don't do this. When you slice someone's throat, you go in here, and then push forward. So in, forward. I know this shit. In the neck, push forward. Imagine doing that these days. Still are. Laugh out loud. Go the beards. My twin uncles were in Cairo. Yeah, right. Old Johnny High Pants. Old Johnny High Pants. Oh shit! What have I done? Remove. Mm-mm. What happened? My godfather was in Egypt, World War II. Yep. Ah, yeah. Forgot I had that old thing. What's that one? That's Jason Voorhees, eh? All right, everyone. I'm off. Big love, everyone. Been great. 100% big love, Chris, and have a good weekend, man. Same, Ramo. Have a good weekend, brother. I think I might call it quits too, guys. What is it? 2:30, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 10 to 8, 10 to 10, which would be 10 to 11. Everyone south of the border.
Oh, shit, there's something bad coming.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It is getting pretty crazy out here too, and if I don't want to blow up my Starlink again because I only just got it back.
That sounds bad.
But
That sounds bad.
I might call it there, guys. I fucking really enjoyed tonight. I enjoyed the chit chat, the back and forth. Damien and Wugsy and that. I hope you got something that you can take away for tonight. I'll be thinking about you boys. So you're not by yourself, hey? You're not doing it. You're not struggling by yourself, man. There's a lot of us out there struggling in some way, shape, or form. So just know that you're not alone. Just know that you're not alone. So, but everybody in the chat, it's been great. Been great questions. Jamal, Trent, Frack, Fish, fucking Baker Perkins, Trevor, McSteamy Face, Rick, Fisho, Burnsy, Charlie C, Wugsy, Frack. Hope there's no one I didn't miss, eh? But guys, I appreciate you all, eh? I really enjoyed tonight. It was good. It was good to reminisce, tell some of the old stories again. There's still a few that I haven't told yet, but we'll get there. Still gonna try and find nudes. Frack, I hope you do, brother. Dribbler, big love, brother. Great live, Chris. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you, dude. Cheers again, Sarge. No worries, Rick. Ramo was great. Keep your head up, lads. Love your work, Sarge. One of the best. Thanks, Digger. Cheers, brother. Frack. Thanks, Chatter. Great work. Yes. All right. On that night, stay safe. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and try to stay safe out there. Big love, everyone. Stay safe, guys.